Hey, it's good to be back on Moonstompers. A very warm welcome to you. Hope you're keeping okay. I'm Mrs Moonstomper.
No, Mr Moonstomper. Guys, it's amazing to have you on board. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. Do we not, Mrs Moonstomper?
24688. Who do we appreciate? Moonstompers!
Absolutely, all you guys out there. So, just before we start, you'll really have to excuse me on this one. I've got the most awful man flu.
Not feeling too good.
No, I haven't been feeling too well for a week, so I do apologise if I'm sort of not my normal self. Not that stops me from talking.
It's what you do. It's what you do best.
Well, allegedly, but there you go.
Yes.
So, Mrs Moonstomper. Oh, and just before we do start,
what's this?
A massive apology to our North American viewers.
Yes.
Seems as though the Clash video we put out last week was restricted just because of the end bit. So what we've done is we've clipped the ending off so the North American viewers can view it. To get it across to absolutely everyone in the world, then we had to do that. So we do apologise. If you want to see something different, then obviously give us a shout and we don't mind re-editing that for you.
As simple as.
Simple as. So, Mrs Moonstomper, what is today's episode all about? It's a bit obvious, really, isn't it? Just in the thumbnail, actually.
Blue Beat, baby. The Blue Beat label.
Yeah, now, the Blue Beat label, as far as I'm concerned, that is one of the, well, is it really? No, it's one of the labels that actually had a genre sort of named after it.
Yes.
And it just became known as Blue Beat.
Yes.
And Blue Beat's been around forever, hasn't it?
Since 1947.
Well, it wasn't Blue Beat in 1947.
Oh,
it was actually
Mellow Disc.
It was Mellow Disc.
Yes.
Now, Mellow Disc actually did. They did Porto. Was it Mento, Calypso?
Yes.
That type of thing. So they did. And they specialised in that from the Caribbean and from the USA. And it wasn't till, was it 1960?
1960 onwards.
Yeah, 1960 onwards that Blue Beat existed. Now, Blue Beat is a London-based record label.
Oh, yes.
So it's actually what's called an imprint, if that makes sense.
Oh, yes.
And it's had an illustrious, an illustrious career for decades.
Yes.
You know, right from the early pioneers of ska, all the way through to groups like Bad Manners who also recorded on Blue Beat. So it's there for everyone.
Yes.
And we thought it was important to mention it on this channel as just a, why wouldn't you?
Include it. We thought we'd include it with lots of others we've already included.
Absolutely. So what would you say about Blue Beat, Mrs Moonstomper? Obviously you grew up with Blue Beat.
Well, the artists, for instance, they've recorded on the Blue Beat label. Yeah, artists such as
Laurel Aitken.
Yeah. Prince Buster. What's his name? Oh, Alton Ellis.
Yeah.
Yes. Derek Morgan, yes.
Now,
big names.
Alton and Eddie, was it?
Yes.
Or something like that. Yeah, if I remember rightly. And so Blue Beat, before it was known as Blue Beat Ska, Blue Beat was actually regarded as pop music by Jamaican people. So, and Blue Beat actually, so there's another weird fact for you.
Oh, go on.
Island Records is often looked at as the pioneer of sort of ska, Trojan, not Trojan, but ska, and Trojan actually.
Oh, yeah.
But Trojan was way later, but ska music.
Yeah.
But Blue Beat were there first.
Yes, of course they were, yes.
Island Records didn't sort of get an office in the UK till I think it was in 62.
I think it was
there or thereabouts
early
with
60s,
Chris
yes.
Blackwell. But Blue Beat were there first.
There was.
So we've got to mention Blue Beat, have we not?
Oh yes. And that mellow disc, it's not mellow as in like mellow your mood. It's like MELO.
Yeah.
Mellow disc.
I know that.
Yes.
Definitely.
For those who didn't know.
Oh, for those who didn't know,
yes.
There you go, guys. So you've been told by Mrs Moonstomper. So there you go. And so mods. Now this was quite big on the mod scene.
Yes, it was.
I think there was over 400 mod singles.
Gosh.
There or thereabouts on that label.
Yes.
That's how important that label was, and it was like a factory, just one after the other, after the other, after the other.
Yes.
And it was also Britain's second home to ska and reggae, was it not?
Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about mods. When Prince Buster landed in Heathrow, I mentioned this before in one of our ska videos. Landed in Heathrow to meet Bridget Bond. You know, the beat girl.
Yes.
Bridget Bond. There's a load of mobs as well that came to meet him, and you see them all doing the twist, doing that dance.
That iconic picture that shows himself and Bridget
doing the
twist will be forever. That'll be forever known in the world of ska, will it not?
Yes,
you know, and Bridget, that's the, like you say, it's the beat girl. So if you know who the Beats are, the Beat were an 80s ska revival.
Ska two tones.
Yeah.
Rankin Roger and Dave Wakeling.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. But the picture of Bridget's.
Yes.
That was used before the Beat as well. So it was used in the 60s, that was.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, so, you know, little do some people know. Those of you who've been around forever and are older than God's dog, you probably know that already.
I have seen posters.
So I've actually seen that on posters and record labels as well, and record sleeves. So just thought we'd mention that.
Yes.
So Mrs Moonstomper.
Oh yes,
Mrs Moonstomper.
Yes.
What else do you know about Blue Beat?
It's been on the it played a major role in popularising. We mentioned it before, popularising Jamaican music, and it's became used to describe the most iconic label as well.
Well, I would say so, because you know how many people mention I listen to Blue Beat.
Yes.
And it is.
So many.
Yeah, of course I do. You know, it is. It's actually a thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for 7 years as well, it did so well on the London scene, and it just drew the like you mentioned again, the mods who favoured such a genre.
They did
as
indeed.
Well.
They absolutely did. Although the Who weren't on Blue Beat, or the Kings conversely. It's
like the fans, like the kids, the young kids, who had most of the records, like the pop records, like the Kings and the Who, but the Blue Beat labels as well, like the ska music. They also enjoyed. Also, Mr Moonstomper, did you know, artists like Owen Gray was included alongside Derek Morgan, which you mentioned earlier.
I did.
Yes.
And none other than Duke Reid.
Yes.
And you know, how can you forget Duke Reid? The sound system.
The sound system man is known as, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you know, that Kingston sound, that Duke Reid sound is just it's you know.
Is it ever?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's way big, way ahead of its time. There's also another artist called Count Ozzy, a drummer called Count Ozzy. Was he
the Rastafarian, was he?
Yes.
Now that was unusual in those days. So you know, Rastafarianism's been around for quite some time, but it was unusual to see it in those days. It hadn't Well, he hadn't jumped to the fore, and it's
not really.
Bob Marley sort of, I'm going to say Bob Marley and guys like that sort of brought it to the fore.
Yes.
But yeah, that was quite strange to see.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and the sound system, it was brought from Kingston. Kingston, Jamaica to perform, and they performed in places like Lewisham and Brixton as well, in London.
Well, but those sound systems were, I would say, that was crucial to that style of music. Now, if you watch our other videos, you'll see that we talk about sound systems quite often.
Yes.
And none other than Coxsone Sound.
Coxsone, yes.
Yeah, Coxsone Records, Coxsone Sound, which was that was probably, along with him and Duke Reid, that was probably the they were the pinnacle of sound systems at that point in time.
That's it, yeah.
But wasn't he a former police officer or something, Duke Reid?
I think we mentioned that. He was, weren't he?
And wasn't he the one who used to get his gun out or something, pull his gun out?
Oh God, and shoot in the air.
Yeah, not in the United Kingdom, I hasten to add, guys.
In his home country.
Yeah, which is, that's quite. Yeah, that's quite something, isn't it?
That's something out of the Wild West.
Yeah.
And you're dancing away in the blues party, all of a sudden, bang, bang, bang.
As you do.
Yes. Yeah, he's sorry. He also earned his money licensing his productions to several UK labels as well.
Did indeed.
Did Duke Reid, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and Bluebeat was the label he's most associated with also.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. So, looking at people like John Holtz.
Yes.
So, John Holtz, did he link up with Ellis before forming the group, The Flames?
Was it the Paragons?
And then he formed the Paragons. Holt joined the Paragons.
Oh yes, a bit later, yes.
And then obviously they were based in Britain.
I think it's the early 70s, I think.
Yeah, but they remained successful all the way through for right up until the day he died. Actually, when Ellis he died in
2008.
2008. There you go. That's an illustrious career.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So I think the last. If I remember rightly, the last Blue Beats hit or single was it Train to Scarville? Was it Bad Manners in 1989?
Oh.
And it didn't do well on the charts, but that was the last single to be released on Blue Beats.
Okay.
That's vinyl single. Then in 2021, I think they tried to revive it.
I see.
If I remember rightly.
Yes, you could be right.
Yeah.
Yes, but going back to the Paragons, songs like The Tide is High, which everybody thought it was Blondie's song.
Well, no, I knew
Blondie.
I knew it was a Paragons hit.
Yes. And Alton Ellis is known for singing Girl, I've Got a Date. I mentioned this before, I remember. Girl, I've Got a Date, and I'm Still in Love with You, Girl. Yes, but that bass line, that I'm still in love, it's been used for many artists have used that bass line as well. Going back to Laurel Aitken and Prince Buster, those two are mostly dubbed as the godfathers of ska.
Well, Laurel Aitken especially.
Yeah.
And Prince Buster got more, I would say he got more fame later on because of Madness.
Oh yes.
Because Madness sort of replicated the sort of Prince Buster element, did they not?
That's it, yes.
But Laurel Aitken as the godfather of ska,
yes.
for definite.
Yes.
But did you know he was Cuban born? So a lot of people think he was Jamaican born, but he was Cuban born with Jamaican roots. So
yes.
there you go.
He was.
And he moved to, so I think he moved to London in 1960, if I remember rightly.
He did,
Laurel
yes.
Aitken. So, and then he recorded for the label specifically.
Yes.
Bringing it, that was the that was what brought West Indian music really, really, really to the fore in the United Kingdom. So a lot of people always credit Chris Blackwell with that and Island Records. And let's not take it away from Chris Blackwell and Island Records, because he did so much for it.
That's it.
Even when he worked with Trojan Records as well, he did so much for it. But Blue Beat first and foremost.
Yes.
So there.
Yes. And working with Duke Reid as well. And then they did a few tracks. Like Laurel Aitken. Laurel Aitken working with Duke Reid, popularising West Indian music. And then they recorded a track called More Whiskey and Boogie Rock with a group called the Boogie Cats as well. It had like a boogie woogie sort of piano-y.
There you go, guys.
Type.
Yeah. Who knew that?
Jazzy
I
feel.
actually didn't know that.
Yeah. Them two, Prince Buster and Laurel Aitken, being the first Jamaicans to record in the early 60s and pioneering such a thing.
They weren't the first Jamaicans to record. They were the first major
major
recording stars.
Yes.
So there is a difference there, because let's face it, the Jamaicans have been doing DIY records for not forever, but certainly since the 50s. But
the 50s and
Laurel
60s.
Aitken was the first star.
Yeah.
He was the first Jamaican recording star. So there is a difference there. So I just thought I'd correct you on that.
Do beg your pardon.
No, that's all right. Not a pleasure. Not a pleasure.
And promoting the stars of like Ska and Mento and all that as well, bringing it to the foremost and making it popular and big.
They did, but again, popular and big, they were still ripped off. Let's face it, they were absolutely ripped off. They were ripped off silly. To the tune of how much I don't know.
Gosh, that's so much.
But what I would say is that music paved the way for, yes, we know it paved the way for what I would say was skinhead reggae, but it also paved the way for British reggae as well, which, so is there a difference? Yes, there is a difference. So I just wanted to touch on someone who was instrumental in British reggae. But what we'll do first, we'll go and take a break, then we'll be back after the break and we'll touch on just that person.
Right, back at you.
Laurel Aitken, is it true you've been credited with being the godfather of ska music, are you?
That's what they say. That's what they call me, the godfather, yeah.
So then, Laurel, how did you get the reputation of being the godfather of ska?
Well, I don't know. I was doing a show in London, and the man that was doing the MC just announced, I will bring to you the godfather of ska. And the paper the next day was all over the paper that I was the godfather of ska, and it's from there everybody calls me that.
But you do have a big involvement with ska music, yeah?
Yeah, well, I am the man that introduced reggae music, which is the same ska music, to England. And I was the first man to have a Jamaican hit in the Jamaican Hit Parade in 1949. 1959, sorry.
You're living in Leicester now, Laurel, but you're originally from Cuba.
Well, I left Cuba with my family when I was 11 years old and went to Jamaica. And started singing at an early age. And in Jamaica, I used to work for the tourist board. You know the tourist board?
Yeah.
I used to welcome tourists to Jamaica. I used to, the ship, you know the ship? Ship could be there, park, and people getting off the runaway. And I was down there with my calypso guys, and I shaking my maracas and singing Welcome to Jamaica. So I've been into West Indian music long before this ska or reggae or ragamuffin. I am from ancient times.
So are you still involved strongly in it then? I mean, is there a lot of good new reggae, new ska? Is it still surviving?
New reggae, yeah, reggae and ska as well. But at the moment, I'm trying to mix ska music with hip hop music. Like if I would sing a song, I would get a young face to do a wicked rap, you know, just go wicked rap, you know, and let younger people take notice to what I'm doing.
So you're in the music business 50 years now.
Yeah.
So you're an old pro.
A young pro. No, an old pro.
What would you say then to all the young bands over here? There's millions. What would your advice be? I mean, they're all looking to make their fame, fortune. What's your idea of success?
I know, well, I am not really successful. It's just that what I do, I enjoy doing it. And I will never do anything again. If I should be born again, I wouldn't do nothing more than this, because this is what I enjoy doing. If you see me on stage, I don't know for tonight, you know that I enjoy what I'm doing. And to achieve anything, you got to persevere, whether music or boxing or running or videoing, you've got to persevere.
Hey, welcome back everybody. Sure hope you enjoyed that little snippet.
Certainly hope it is.
Joe Higgs mentoring
Oh
Bob
right,
Marley.
okay, right, I didn't know that. So there you go, you learn something new every day.
Yes.
So I don't know when he did that or when they actually did that.
In the early 60s.
Just Bob Marley.
Yeah, 1959.
Or before he actually joined the Wailers.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
1959, Joe Higgs mentored Bob Marley, the young Bob Marley.
Didn't know that. All right, but all of this leaded into what I would say was reggae becoming popular in Britain, really popular.
Oh yes.
Now British reggae is different to, in my opinion, is different to Jamaican reggae.
Yes, it is.
And you can tell straight away. So what I'm going to say is, I would say, you know, I would say one of the most influential, but craziest and weirdest things I've ever seen is none other than Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd. If you don't know who Judge Dredd is, right, it's not Judge Dredd as in the 2000 AD comic Judge Dredd. It's Judge Dredd as in the reggae singer.
Yes.
So what's unique about Judge Dredd, Mrs Moonstomper?
Yeah, Judge Dredd, he's a white man.
Okay, right. So if you've not seen
he's
Judge
white.
Dredd, go and check this dude out. Right. So
He's so funny.
he's a proper sort of boots and braces character.
Yes.
And he's a bit of a. It's unique.
Yeah, he sings songs with a twist of innuendos in his singing, in the words that he sings.
So he is the most banned artist in BBC history, having had 11, I think it was 11 consecutive songs banned by the BBC, so that's more than anybody else, and that's a hell of an accolade.
Yes.
Really is. So he started life as he wasn't a professional wrestler, but he did do professional wrestling, and I can't remember his stage name because he was a bit of a unit.
Okay.
But he also, because he hung around blues clubs.
Yes.
Blues clubs, and that's where he sort of got into black music. You know, drinking Red Stripe or whatever he was drinking, and listening to that sort of thing. And he ended up doing bits of security.
Oh yes.
For different reggae artists, upcoming reggae artists,
Yes.
and a bit of debt collecting as well for Trojan Records. So quite an illustrious sort of checkered career.
Yes.
But yeah, strange. Strange is not the word, is it?
No, it's little peculiar. But he did sing songs like nursery rhyme theme songs, like Jack and Jill went up the hill and Little Bo Peep and all that, and with him, double is it entendres?
Entendres.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, and they did Je t'aime as well, that French sort of a love song, Je t'aime.
Yeah, but they
with
were
a rude twist.
all very, very tongue-in-cheek and very, very, different, unique. So he, right, behind Bob Marley, he was Britain's second biggest reggae artist. Not that Bob Marley was Britain's reggae artist, but he was the second biggest seller of reggae in Great Britain in the 70s.
Yes.
And a lot of people, if they've heard of him, then that's good. But if they haven't heard of him, then you need to check him out. It's a bit of a
go check him out.
Yeah, it's to be honest with you, it's not my bag, to be honest with you, because it's a bit, I would say it's pop music.
Yeah, like reggae pop.
Reggae pop mixed in with some sort of like, but in the style of reggae.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
He made it work.
He made it work, and it was just absolutely hilarious.
It was.
Yeah.
He did like songs like Big 7, Big 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And 8, I think.
Something like that. 8 and 9.
Yeah, and
those Big 7's the most popular one.
Big 7's absolutely disgusting. It's just, I don't even know what the bloke was thinking.
Dear.
It's. I would say it's very comedic.
Yes, it is. You have to laugh and listen. Yeah.
So he's taken some of that skinhead culture, skinhead reggae culture.
Oh yes.
And he's, I don't even know how he's done it.
He's put it to a nursery rhyme.
Which is strange. Yeah, absolutely strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought
you
that
should check him out.
Yeah,
So
I thought that was.
Laugh.
Yeah, I just thought it was worth a mention.
Yes. Oh yes.
So, and then going into sort of later reggae in Britain as well. So reggae had a bit of a boom time, did it not?
Yes.
With groups like, I would say London groups like Aswad, and then Birmingham groups like Steel Pulse.
Which Aswad had that heavy dub sound, that really bassy, dubby sound.
They did indeed.
Yeah, before they sort of turned to the charts.
Well, they didn't turn to the charts till the 80s.
Till 80s,
the 80s really, but
most of them did anyway.
Well, Steel Pulse did that as well. They lightened the sound.
Yes.
So that dub sound of the 70s, but dub's a different thing altogether.
Okay.
So in case you don't know what dub plate is, those are normally. They're acetate records. They're normally 10-inch. Those are dub plates. So different to a 12-inch and a 7-inch.
Okay, yes.
And the dub plate is exactly that. So they can put it on, and then they dub over it, and they can put whatever they want over it. That's the whole point in dub plates, surely.
Is that when the Singjay comes in, the toaster? We do all the toasting in the blues parties.
Yeah, exactly. But that led into something called dancehall. So dancehall is that's another genre.
It's like late 70s, early 80s.
It isn't right through the 80s actually. Dancehall.
Yeah, to beyond the 2000s, the noughties and upwards.
I don't regard the modern stuff as dancehall.
No, I don't.
I just think it's replicating crap myself.
Yes, I do. Like Sean Paul and Shaggy.
Nah, most definitely not. You've got to keep that. That's Jamaican. You've got to keep it as Jamaican.
You do, yes.
And then right from your dub artists like Capleton, right the way through to people like
Beanie Man,
Buju Banton.
Yes.
So
many.
Yeah, exactly. And Freddie McGregor.
Oh yes.
And Snaggerpuss.
Yes.
Yellow Man. All those artists. They grew up in and around that.
That's it. Freddie McGregor used to be like a rasta, he sung with a heavy bass.
He did indeed.
Background as well, but he came into the charts later on in the 80s.
He did indeed, but a lot of them had to. Because it's again, I think we said it in. I don't know if it was.
It's our reggae video, wasn't it?
No, it was in the Clash video.
Oh,
I think the Clash video, something like that, where Clash had to change because don't forget things like punk were it was a fashion.
Oh yes.
It was a fashion accompanied by the music. So if you don't, when that went out of fashion, what does your music do then? You have to reinvent yourself.
That's it. You
And that's kind of what reggae did. It did that to reinvent itself, to keep the world turning, to keep those artists paid.
I was going to say like reinventing the wheel, but you mentioned wheel
It's
already.
exactly that. It's exactly
Yes.
that. Even rock's done it. It's done it so many times, and other, hip hop's done it.
Yes.
Again, ska, mod. Ska revival.
Yes.
It's all done it, and if it doesn't do it, it doesn't sell.
Mm.
The old stuff's brilliant. It really is, and that's why this channel exists.
Yes,
Is
of
so we
course.
can celebrate the historic stuff, but it's looking at how that evolved through the ages as well.
That's it, and keeping it alive for
It
those
is.
who want to
Definitely.
keep people like us and people like yourselves out there that want to keep it alive.
And why would you
I
not?
know.
So Mrs Moonstomper.
Oh yes, Mr. Moon.
So when we said earlier about blue beat and lots of it going on through the ages, the blue beats that Bad Manners and Buster Budvessel recorded on wasn't actually blue beats,
Okay.
but it was, but it wasn't, if
That's
that makes
all.
sense. So they re-licensed it. They got them over and re-licensed it, and that's how they recorded on it.
All right.
So there you
well,
go.
I'll say.
And then you mentioned Laurel Aitken. What did you mention about Laurel Aitken earlier? He's boogie.
Boogie cat thing.
Yeah, now that, right, so that was the first ever LP, that Laurel Aitken LP. That was the first LP ever recorded on Blue Beat Records.
Yeah.
But that was actually licensed by Downbeat Records, which was a Jamaican record label.
Oh, I see.
So
Wow.
there you go.
We live and we learn.
So right from Laurel Aitken onwards.
Yes. Gosh, for those who brought it to the forefront from way back and
Yeah, exactly.
up to the day.
So regarded as pop music, but it was pop music because it's popular music. So that's all pop music stands for.
Gosh, yes, I knew that.
And it was popular, still popular today, but
But it's all different now, it's not the same as it was.
no, it's the heart of, for me it's the heart of ska, it's the heart of, it's the heart of lots of things, and wherever you go you'll always hear blue beat.
Oh yes,
But
somewhere.
I think without blue beat and without blue beat Island Trojan, you wouldn't have got reggae.
I know, gosh.
You'd have never have heard
You
Bob
just know
Marley.
it.
You'd have never have heard any of those.
No.
and even going through to bands like UB40, so white reggae again. Which is, is that a thing? Well, yes, it is actually. Who said that can't be a thing? But people.
Of course it can.
Yeah, of course it can, definitely. People laugh at that.
Oh.
People laughed at white rappers till Eminem came along and showed actually he's the best rapper in the world.
Yes,
Bar
gosh.
none, subject to opinion, obviously.
That's it. And Beastie Boys as well, being white. They can rap and hip hop.
Well, they didn't start like that though. In 1979, they started.
Oh, there was like
I-
the punk scene.
I think they were on the punk and hardcore scene
yes,
originally,
yes.
so whether you knew that or not, I don't know, but there you go. But
Yeah.
we've got more of that coming up in the near
That's it.
future.
We have. Mhm.
Along with some other great bits and bobs as well.
Keep them peeled.
So yeah, definitely.
You got anything else, Mr. Moonstomper?
I don't believe I have, because this man flu is just consuming me. It really is. I know, it's terrible.
Oh,
isn't it?
didums. Not
I
really.
know, there you go.
Just kidding.
No, it's sort of sympathy I get, guys. It's, it's,
I'm going to wrap him in cotton wool and feed him some lemsip. Some
Phlegm.
lemon and honey.
some phlegm sick, right? Man.
Blech.
Yeah. No, I think what I'll do is just go have a cigarette and I'll be alright then.
Oh, dear me.
Half a bottle of whiskey, I'll be as right as right.
Get it down, yeah.
Anything else, Mrs Moonstomper?
Yes, there is.
Go on.
Mr. Moonstomper, I beg you, pray tell me, if there's something weird and it ain't looking too good, beg you tell me, who are you going to call?
Holy shit, Ghostbusters.
No, Moonstompers!
Oh, there you go.
Ha, you thought I was going to say Ghostbusters like Mr. Moonstomper
That's
did.
what I thought, There you go. There you go. I don't know what you expect us to do about that, but there you go. Mrs Moonstomper obviously knows.
Yeah.
But then again, seeing Mrs Moonstomper in the middle of the night is awfully scary, guys.
You don't want to bump into me in the middle of the night? Not really. I'm not that scary, really.
Guys, it'd be like seeing your grandmother get out of the
You'll
bath.
come with that one. Yeah,
Right,
get
okay.
in the bin.
So, right, I've got nothing else because I need to go and have a lie down. Anything else, Mrs Moonstomper?
No, thank you, Mr.
No,
Moonstomper.
just before you go, guys.
With our first anniversary coming up and the t-shirt giveaway, was it 5, was it, Mr. Moonstomper?
Was indeed.
Yes, yes.
So, what we'll do is, approaching the time, we'll put our email address that we want you to email us on, and we'll give you all the relevant details, and 5 lucky people will be picked at random, and you'll receive a t-shirt, a quality one, free of charge.
Lovely.
And we hope that, we hope you enjoy it.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, and then afterwards we've got a competition coming up. So the competition that we need to sort the competition out properly. Now there's rules. So what we were going to do was actually classed as gambling, and we can't do that because we don't. Yeah, exactly. So we don't have a license to gamble, and that's the only reason we've had to push it back.
Yeah.
Is for that reason. We've got to slightly adjust things. Once we do that, then it becomes fair, and it's no longer gambling. So it's got to do within the community guidelines of YouTube, obviously.
Of course.
Otherwise, it's just removed and it's void. So their rules, not ours. So we do apologise, but it will be coming up, and we do have some fabulous prizes on that also.
Yes.
Don't forget, we've got a mid-year documentary, and we're also going to feature bands such as
Cockney Rejects.
Cocksparrow, Agnostic Fronts, Black Flag, then people like Bob Marley, obviously, UB40. There's going to be
so many.
Yeah, there's going to be some mainstream stuff. There's going to be some not so mainstream stuff. There's going to be some real hardcore stuff. And to be quite frank, there's going to be stuff that absolutely divides opinion. But
as it does.
Healthily.
Yes,
I think.
yes.
So, anything else, Mrs Moonstomper?
Just big up to the Moonstomper community.
Absolutely.
Keep your dopamines flowing and all that.
Damn right.
Yes.
And guys, a massive shout out to all those in Southern California.
Yes.
And what they're going through at the moment.
are,
What they're going through at the moment. Los Angeles.
The horrible fires.
That must be absolutely horrific. So, if you're from that area, our heart goes out to you sincerely. That must be really, really impacting, and it's bad. It really is.
It's worse than bad. It's awful.
It is.
I do feel for them people. I just wish something I could do to help them.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh dear.
So.
Yes.
Right. On that note, I've got nothing else.
Keep moonstomping, Mrs Moonstomper says.
Yeah.
Love you.
Peace out, guys.
Peace
I've been
out.
Mr Moonstomper. Love you all as ever.
Bye.
No. We're not showing big like that. You know what we say?